For This Week in Washington, I'm Brian Darling. Drilling and defense spending are the two big issues this week in Washington. Drill, baby, drill. For years, Congress has banned oil and natural gas drilling on most of America's outer continental shelf. Less than 2 weeks ago, the Republican convention erupted with chants of drill, baby, drill. In a recent Quinnipiac poll, 62% of likely voters support drilling for new oil supplies in currently protected areas offshore. Support included 82% of Republicans, 50% of Democrats, 60% of independents, 67% of men, and 58% of women. Yet liberals in Congress don't seem inclined to expand domestic energy production. Let's heed the call to drill, baby, drill, with no conditions or restrictions. Please read Legislative Lowdown and Human Events this week for conservative issues coming up in Washington. James Gattuso and Nick Loris of the Heritage Foundation have written that the federal government should put the brakes on the automaker bailout. Nothing gathers a crowd in Washington like the sight of money being handed out. Thus, in the wake of last weekend's federal takeover of Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, automobile manufacturers in the United States were requesting help from the government as well. The big three, General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler, are asking for $50 billion in low-interest federal loans to develop alternatives to conventional fossil fuel-powered vehicles. A bailout would set a disturbing precedent, resulting in even more private companies clamoring for government sponsorship. A number of companies today can make the case that their respective industry is vital to the economy and begin requesting billions of dollars in bailout subsidies. There already has been talk of a bailout request from the airline industry. More will surely follow. Having the government, and ultimately the taxpayer, finance a transition to more fuel-efficient cars is simply bad policy rooted in election year politics. Policymakers should slam the brakes to avoid this hazard. That's This Week in Washington. I'll see you next week. For more information, log on to heritage.org and stay tuned next week for more news and information.